Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to all my dear students. Today I am taking biology class. Under that we are studying about the biological classification. We have studied the various kingdom system kingdoms, that is Monera, Mycota or kingdom Monera, Protista, Mycota or fungi, and we also studied the concept Plantae, kingdom Plantae. You have studied kingdom Plantae, which all the photosynthetic green plant will come under. Green organism, pigment, chlorophyll pigment containing organism will come under the kingdom Plantae. Here most of the organism are autotrophic in nature. They are autotrophic in nature. They produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis, they synthesize their own food by using sunlight, water and carbon dioxide. Okay, and few are partial heterotrophic. They show partial heterotrophism like insectivorous plant. I have given some example insectivorous plants, that is Venus trap plant, Nepenthes, Venus flytrap plant and Drosera. These are the insect plant which partially get their nitrogen source from the insect. In Venus flytrap, they will trap the insects so that they will digest that insect and they will get the nitrogen source. By this, other photosynthetic method will take place in the body. Only for nitrogen source they dependent on the other organism, and some of them are also parasitic in nature. Some of the organisms are parasitic in nature. Example, Cuscuta have given. Cuscuta is a parasitic organism which draw their nutrition from other plant organism. Here this Cuscuta is a parasite on other plants. They grow on the other shrub plants. Usually they draw the nutrition from the shrub plant and they'll get their nutrition. So further reproduction and all takes place. Only for nutrition they are dependent on the other organism. So it is a parasite. Example for parasitic organism under kingdom Plantae. And also they show well defined cell wall which is made up of cellulosic material. Cellulosic material in the cell wall ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, prominent nucleus, and also it has chloroplast. These chloroplasts contain chlorophyll pigment which is very important for the photosynthesis. Very important for the photosynthesis. You are going to study in later classes about importance of this photochlorophyll as well as chloroplast. Okay, next they show two generation in their life cycle. They show two generation, that is I told sporophytic and gametophytic. This is sporophytic phase is diploid in nature, means contain two set of chromosome, and gametophytic phase may contain haploid spores. They produce they are having a haploid cells. Sporophytic phase may contain diploid cells. So that we are going to study. These two are important phases in a plant, kingdom Plantae. We can say these two important phases, and these may dependent on one another. They may independent. The sporophytic and gametophytic phase may independent or they dependent on one another, forming alteration. They alters. After sporophytic generation there is a gametophytic generation. Again sporophytic generation, gametophytic generation, and gametophytic generation finishes, the sporophytic generation start. So you can see alteration. This process will call it as alteration of generation. Means we can see two generation, that is gametophytic and sporophytic. This generation will alter one another. This process will call it as alteration of generation. You are going to study in detail. Next kingdom is Animalia. All the higher organism heterotrophic, they are heterotrophic in nature. Eukaryotic, the cells are eukaryotic and multicellular. These are the important feature of Animalia. Here same, they are autotrophic, eukaryotic and multicellular. Here heterotrophic, eukaryotic and multicellular, and cell lack cell wall. They lack cell wall material, cell wall outer protective cell wall layer is absent in Animalia or animal cell. We cannot see the cell wall and all the cell organelle, even the chloroplast is absent. That's why they are not able to synthesize their own food. They dependent on the other organism. The nutrition may be holozoic. Holozoic means they dependent on the other organism. The holozoic organisms are nothing but they dependent it is a type of nutrition. Here the Animalia or the animals are dependent on other organism for their food source. Food source ಗೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು organism ಗೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. It may directly depend on the plant or it may indirectly depend on the plant for the source of food. Here this animal kingdom or animals are directly dependent on plants or indirectly dependent on plants. Let me explain. Here usually herbivorous animal will eat plants, right? Herbivorous animal eats plant, they consume plants, okay, they are dependent on plants. And all the carnivores depend on the we'll call it as herbivores. Herbivores depend on the plants for their source of food. Here carnivores depend on the herbivores for their food source. So they indirectly dependent on the plant source. So if there is no plants, the herbivorous animals are not present. If herbivorous animals are not there, the carnivorous animals will not get the food. So they may indirectly dependent on the plants. Here plants is a chief producer, means food producer in the ecosystem or environment. ನಮ್ಮ ವಾತಾವರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಸರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಜೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ plants. So all the food chain will start from the plants, that is producer in the food chain, ಆಹಾರ ಸರಪಳಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So plant play a very important role in the ecosystem. So it is not dependent on any other organism, but it can live independently, but other organisms are directly or indirectly dependent on the plants. So they may directly, or these animals are directly or indirectly dependent on the plants. So plants for their food source, they may be holozoic, they ingest food material, they ingest the food material internally, they ingest food materials. They ingest the food material and the source of nutrition is, mode of nutrition is holozoic. Okay, next one more important characteristic feature of animals are some of the animals are show locomotion. They have locomotory organs or they show locomotions. means they can move from one place to another. Most of the animal show locomotions, except a few we are going to study in while studying the kingdom animals. Okay, they reproduce by mating between the two different organisms, that is male and female. The mating between or copulation between male and female produces the offspring. Here the copulation takes place or the mating takes place in between male and female organism, and that will produce us the new organism. Because of the copulation or mating, they able to produce the new organism. So they show other features like respiration, well developed respiration system are there, and in higher organism we can see well developed sensory and neuromotor mechanism. In higher animals we can see well developed sensory mechanism as well as neuromotor mechanism. Sensory means response to stimuli. Quick response will be shown for the particular type of stimulus because of the presence of a well developed neuromotor system. Neuromotors are nothing but the nerve system and their movement of impulse. This includes neuromotors include nerve cells, nerve system along with the movement of the impulse movement. They together form a neuromotor mechanism. So in higher organism like human beings and other organism we can see well developed sensory and neuromotor system. So these are the important features of kingdom Animalia and may be asked for 4 to 5 marks, and you are going to study in detail in a plant kingdom. Okay, sorry, animal kingdom you are studying in detail. Okay, next we'll move to the another type of organism. We'll move to the another type of organism which is not included in any of the kingdom, So that type of organism we are going to study. Here these animals also contain some of the special features like they digest the food in a cavity. A cavity, specialized cavity is present to digest the food material, and they store the food material in the form of glycogen or fat. They store food material in the form of glycogen or fat. This is a very important feature shown in kingdom animals, Animalia, which store the food material in the form of glycogen or fat. And one more important feature is they show a very definite growth pattern. You can see a definite growth pattern. Means at the initial stage the growth is low and suddenly it increases. When it increases to adult stage, if you take a graph, it's slow during the initial stages, it suddenly increases at certain age, and once the organism reach a particular age, it do not show further growth. For example, in human beings, the growth in organism increases up to certain age, and when they assume a certain size or structure, beyond that we cannot see the further growth. Sometimes we become fat and thin. That is because of the accumulation of fat content in our body, that we cannot call it as a growth. It's just the accumulation of the food material. Growth means increase in the size, increase in the length, as well as increase in the size due to the cell division. Okay, so here they show definite growth pattern. A certain age, if beyond 20 age, we cannot see growth in human beings, right? Up to 7 maximum height may be up to 7 feet. Beyond that we cannot see. If there, that is a overgrowth or because of certain disorder we can see growth. So they grow up to certain length. Andre animals alli growth certain age varege matra confined ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. up to adult condition ಗೆ ಬರುವವರೆಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ growth ಇರ್ತದೆ. beyond that we cannot see the further growth. So they show definite growth pattern, that is they show definite structure and size in a certain age period ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಸೈಜನ್ನು ಅದು ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ವಿ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಸಿ ದ ಗ್ರೋತ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಬೋತ್ ದ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ so this virus, viroids and prions are not included in any of the kingdom because they are acellular. They do not have any definite cellular structure like prokaryote or either prokaryote or eukaryote. Either the cells are not present in a viruses, so it is called as acellular, and they are considered as not truly living organism. They are not truly considered as a not truly living organism because most of the viroid prions are parasitic in nature. We cannot also consider parasitic here. They are not truly a living organism because they only grow in a particular host. They divide and they show their division only in a particular host system. If it is removed from the host, it will act as a crystalline like structure. They act as a crystalline chemical crystals ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. when it again get any host, again it start to divide. So they use cell machinery, host cell. Host means I have told host is the organism where the particular type of this parasite can live. host ಯಾವುದು? ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಗ್ರೋ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್, they use, these viruses use host cell machinery for division. For their division they use host cell machinery. For example, ಹೇಗೆಂದರೆ once this virus will attack the cell, any plant, either plant or animal cell, it will attack that cell and use the host genetics. ಅಂದರೆ ಹೋಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಹೋಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್. ಲೇಟರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸಲ್ಲಿ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ certain mechanic machineries to produce different kinds of photosynthesis products. Different products, they show different kinds of machineries. For example, nucleus protein synthesis ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನನ್ನು ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಗನಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೈರಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ that use these machineries to produce their copy. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಕಾಪಿ, ವೈರಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ಕಾಪಿಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಟು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ their copy. To multiplication they use host cell machineries. And okay, here usually they cause diseases in animals. They usually cause diseases in other living organisms. They live as a host cell. ಸೊ ದೇ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ರ್ಯಾಪಿಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ದೇ ಕಾಸ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, animals or any other microorganism. You can see the diseases by viruses. For example, common flu, you have suffered with these common flus, which is mostly caused by the influenza virus. These will cause diseases. Why they cause diseases? Because they multiply in the cell, multiply in the host body. adra multiplication ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, cell ಇದ್ದು performance ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So the cell gradually dies. So when the cell die, the particular organism is not able to undergo any of the normal function ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So first these viruses are first observed. This virus name is given by Pasteur, which means venom. Venom means poison. It is a deadly poison. We will call it as venom or poison. Poisonous fluid. The virus means venom or poisonous fluid. Okay, so this name is given by Pasteur. This poison, it is called as poisonous fluid, means this fluid will be transferred from one body to other body, that is one organism to another organism. They spread the diseases. Mainly they spread the diseases. Usually all the viruses may cause different kinds of diseases. You are familiar with the present common virus, that is coronavirus. It is also a disease causing virus. Other examples are AIDS and smallpox, chickenpox. These are the example for the viruses. Mostly all these diseases are caused by these viruses. Okay, next we'll move to who first isolated this, who first isolated these viruses. That is Merritt, Ivanovsky in 1893, who first identified these viruses in a tobacco plant. In tobacco plant, who first identified the virus, and this virus caused tobacco mosaic like disease. They cause mosaic disease in tobacco. So he isolated the fluid, this tobacco, he grinded the leaves and extracted the fluid, and he observed a small organism which is smaller than a bacteria. These viruses are tobacco virus, that is mosaic viruses are nothing but a very small organism. These are smaller than a bacteria. How he identified these viruses are smaller than bacteria? He passed this fluid in a bacterial filtration. Usually for extracting this microorganism, they use different kinds of filtration andre gottu neevu usually tea ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಜರಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ. ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಹೋಲ್ಸ್, so that only bacteria, this bacterial filtrate contain only a very small holes, only this bacteria can pass through. Okay, bacterial filtrate alli only bacteria pass aguwage filtrate anna use ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. But this bacteria will stay in this filtrate. Okay, all the fluid content will be filtrated. This and bacteria will be present on this filtrate like this. ಈ ಥರ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇದು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ they extract the bacteria and observe under the microscope. While studying this mosaic virus, virus can pass through this bacterial filtrate. So he identified it is very small organism. He identified that these viruses are very small organism and smaller than a bacteria. They may be in nanometer or micrometer in size. They are nanometer. Nanometer ಅಂದರೆ very small, only observed under the electronic microscope. ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿದಿರಿ common compound microscope, electronic microscope, these different types of microscopes are there. These viruses are only observed under the electronic microscope. So later study he studied the detailed structure of the virus. Okay, so in tobacco he observed the mosaic diseases, and while extracting that fluid he identified the very small organism which is which can pass through the bacterial filtrate, and also it will not come under the bacteria because it is not having a definite cell structure. Idralli definite cell structure irudilla. So how that's why it is not comes under any of the kingdom system. ಯಾವ kingdom ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರೇ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್, nucleus and other cell organelles are not completely absent in viruses. So they will not come under any of the kingdom system. ಯಾವ kingdom system ಅಲ್ಲೂ include ಮಾಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So next later in 1898 Beijerinck, who extracted the fluid. He observed, he extracted fluid from the tobacco which causes mosaic disease. He extracted fluid from. Later in 1898 M.W. Beijerinck, who observed that he extracted some fluid from the infected plant, mosaic disease causing virus, that is fluid. He extracted a fluid with the plant containing mosaic disease containing plant. He extracted the fluid and infected that fluid or injected that fluid into healthy plant, so that the healthy plant start to show the symptoms of mosaic. They start to show the disease of mosaic disease. Okay, they start to show this disease, the healthy plant, because of the transfer of this fluid. He called that fluid as Contagium vivum fluidum. He called this fluid as the extracted fluid from the infected plant. He called that fluid as Contagium vivum fluidum. He called this fluid as Contagium vivum fluidum, which means a poisonous fluid, the fluid containing poisonous material. So they contain infectious living cells. These fluid contain, he later found out that this fluid contain infectious living cells. Okay, understood? He found this fluid contain infectious living cells that may cause the diseases in healthy plant. Later in 1935 Stanley, who crystallized these viruses, and these crystals are again it may be infected to healthy host. These crystals again start to act as a living organism. They multiply and produce diseases in healthy organism. He crystallized the virus. Stanley, who first crystallized the virus and later found out these crystals contain a special structure called virus that is a main causative agent for different kinds of diseases. Okay, understood? Okay, and later he also find that these crystals contain a protein material. This crystal contain a protein material. At this time he found out these things. Till 1935 he found these crystals are nothing but the virus. Okay, and this virus contain a proteinaceous material. Later on detailed study these virus also contain nucleoproteins. This virus structure, this living structure is made up of nucleoproteins. These are containing nucleoproteins which contain nucleic acid as well as proteinaceous material to form a cell-like structure or to form a living-like structure. So when they removed out of the cell, host cell horage tegdaga, they act as a crystals. They act as a crystals. When again it is injected to the host cell, it will act as a organism, living organism. So they show both living as well as non-living character. That's why it is not grouped under any of the kingdom system. Okay, next we'll study the structure. What actually these virus contain? This virus contain genetic material as DNA or RNA. They contain DNA or RNA as a genetic material, and this genetic material containing structure we'll call it as nucleoid. The genetic material containing structure we'll call it as a nucleoid, and this nucleoid is outerly covered by this nucleoid. This is a nucleoid. It is a genetic material outerly covered by a protective structure. We'll call it as capsid. Outerly covered by a structure called capsid. Sometimes in some viruses, this capsid having a smaller units, subunits. This capsid contain a subunits called capsomeres. These contain a smaller subunits. These capsid contain a smaller subunits. That subunit is called as capsomere. This each subunit is called as capsomere. Okay, this is a structure of virus. You can see this is a structure of TMV virus. That is tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, tobacco mosaic virus. Which causes mosaic diseases in tobacco plants. This is in earlier days, these viruses are not observed under a common microscope. They may be enlarged. If you see in smaller magnification, it looks like a rod like structure. This virus may look like a rod shaped structure. It is a rod shaped structure ಕಾಣ್ತಾರೆ smaller resolution ಅಲ್ಲಿ. In higher resolution we can see like this structure, and each units ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ capsomeres ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, and they centrally contain, you can see helical helical arrangement of the genetic material. You can see the helical material of the these capsomeres are helically arranged along the genetic material ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ helically arrange ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಈ ಥರ. Like this, they are arranged like this. These capsomeres are arranged like this, and each protein structure subunits are called as capsomeres. They centrally contain helically called genetic material. Okay, this is a structure of TMV virus, and also we can see some of the capsid which form a polyhedral structure. Some of the capsid form a polyhedral structure. They form polyhedral structure. Inside this polyhedral structure, this form outer protective covering, that is capsid. Inside that you can see the nucleus, genetic material, nuclear material or genetic material present inside this. This is a structure of bacteriophage which causes this is a virus which cause diseases in bacteria or infect the bacteria. This infect the tobacco plant. This is a structure. Here you can see the head like structure called capsid, and neck like structure also there. This is a body, and this is a pin like structure which can fit on the surface of the cell. Cellige fit ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದು pin like structure ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಇದು. This leg like structure will hold the bacteria in a position ಅಲ್ಲಿ hold ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. So this is structure. You can see varied structure, and also some few examples are this HIV virus contains genetic material This is a structure of HIV virus. Structure of HIV virus. These are the different types. These are capsid, and this is a genetic material. Okay. Next, this may be the subunits. Okay. Outer capsid. Outerly it is covered by capsid. Okay, these are the important structure of the virus, and we'll study what are the genetic materials are present in the next class. In our next class we can study the genetic material and what are the causative different types of virus which cause different kinds of diseases in human as well as plants, that we are going to study, and also viroids and prions and lichens. We can study the different characteristics of these organisms. Okay, thank you students.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.